जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। Keep on higher. पंजाबी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन जय राम कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारि जय राधमाधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधा गोपी वल्लभ जय निताय पतिता पावन गौर हरि जय निताय पतिता पावन गौर हरि जय 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 प्रभु प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद एवं श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय आनंद गौरी वैष्णव की जय Canto 4, Chapter 1, text number 414. Okay. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, welcome everybody for today's Bhagavatam class. So, verse number 4.1.4. यस्य तयोः पुरुष साक्षात्
यस्य तयो पुरुष साक्षात्
यस्य तयोः पुरुष साक्षात्
यस्य तयो पुरुष साक्षात्
विष्णुर्यज्ञ स्वरूपधृत्
विष्णुर्यज्ञ
स्वरूपधृत्
विष्णुयज्ञ
यश यश यश्री यश यश sorry या श्री सा दक्षिणा भातु
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 अंशभूता नपायिना अंशभूता नपायिना अंशभूता नपायिना नपायिनी
अंशभूता अपायिनी
यस्तयो पुरुषा साक्षात् विष्णुर्यज्ञ स्वरूपधृक् यश्री सा दक्षिणा भातु भूत sorry यश्रीशा दक्षिणा भूतेर् अंशभूता नपायिनी
यस्य तयो पुरुष साक्षात्
यस्य तयो पुरुष साक्षात् विष्णुर्यज्ञ स्वरूपधृक्
या स्त्री स दक्षिणा भूते
या स्त्री सा दक्षिणा भूते अंशभूता नपायिनी. Translation and purport is made with Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Of the two children born of Akuti, the male child was directly an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his name was Yajna, which is another name for Lord Vishnu. The female child was partial incarnation of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, the eternal concept of Lord Vishnu. I repeat the translation. Of the two children born of Akuti, I repeat. The male child was directly an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his name was Yajna, which was another name of Lord Vishnu. The female child was the partial incarnation of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, the eternal concept of Lord Vishnu. Purport. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is the eternal concept of Lord Vishnu. Here it is stated that both the Lord and the Lakshmi, who are the eternal consorts, appeared from Akuti simultaneously. Both Lord and his consort are beyond the material creation, as confirmed by many authorities. Narayana Paro Avyaktat. Therefore, their eternal relationship cannot be changed. And Yajna, the boy born of Akuti, later married the goddess of fortune. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvikam Tvam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं भङ्गं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरों दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम् Hare Krishna. So I seek blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas and, so that I can speak something. So this is the words which describes about the Akuti, Dev, and Prasuti are the three sisters who are the daughters of Swayambhu Manu. Yeah. And it is said that until now we discussed about the Devahuti and her children like Kapila Dev and her 9 daughters, right? And now like Maitreya Rishi is describing about the children of Akuti. Akuti, like I see, everybody born of Swayambhu Manu are great devotees. Now here, Akuti had children like directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, like Yajna and Dakshina. So Dakshina is the Lakshmi and Yajna is Lord himself. So it is said that no, like sacrifice when we perform any sacrifice, it starts with like auspicious invocation of the Lord, and then it finishes by giving dakshina to the brahmanas, means by giving charity to the brahmanas and all. So, and if one doesn't give enough good dakshina to the brahmanas and just simply does sacrifice, that is a sacrifice is in mode of ignorance. That is in the that is stated in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So now one may see here the if you do in a normal socialistic viewpoint, somebody born out of the womb of same mother are considered as what? Siblings, brother and sister, brother and brother, sister and sister. Okay. So, and as per the Vedic rules and regulations, as per Varnashram Dharma and as per Grostha Dharma, they both should not be married. They become brother and sister. That is for the conditioned souls, but not for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because what is dharma? Dharma is like it is like dharma denotes the behaviors that are considered to be in accordance with uh, Rita, the order and the custom that makes the life and the universe possible. This includes duties, rights, laws, and conduct, and virtues, and right way of living. But this concept is believed to have transtemporal validity. Means dharma is beyond what is transtemporal means. The meaning literal meaning is transtemporal means relating to time travel or influence or communication between one time and another. Means dharma is always existing. It's not like created by somebody. Like generally we see, right, like when we go outside there are some many city laws and all those laws. But the dharma is eternally existent. That's why Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarna Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha is he created these four varnas and four ashramas, varnashrama dharma. Basically, all the types of dharma are coming from scriptures, and every type of dharma is directly given by the Lord Himself. Dharmantu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. What is dharma? Dharma means which is directly spoken by the Lord, how we should lead life in this material world. So why we have to follow dharma? So only when we follow dharma, we will be able to ascend in our spiritual life. More. So why we have to ascend? Why can't we stay happily in this material world? Because this material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It's a place of it is a temporary place. Dukkhalayam is a place of misery and temporary. Its nature is temporary. So that's why we cannot have a permanent place of happiness in this material world. So that's why Krishna, why can't we have a permanent place of happiness is, it is not our nature. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We are amshas of Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna. And Jivere Saruphoy Krishna Nitya Das. And Jiva is made to serve Lord. But when we want to claim that position to Lord our material nature, then we we are sent into this material world so that we can fulfill our desire of lording our material nature. So here also, we are not the lords. We are only kept under the illusion that we are lording over something. Because you see that from the time of to take birth until we grow up, we know somebody gets married and we get children and earns a lot of money and all those things. And finally, he gets aged out and he dies. So basically, he is kept under the illusion that he is the creator, he is the maintainer, and he is the destroyer. So, but Lord is actually creator, maintainer, and destroyer, and we wanted to imitate Lord. That's why we are kept in this material world. But when Lord sent us into this material world, Lord also gave the exit plan also. Okay, after you fulfill your desires, now you follow these principles of dharma and then get out of this material existence. Because our real home is in the spiritual world with the Lord. And why can't we, like, why are we talking about something imaginary? Somebody may question like that. But one simple logic is, nobody wants to die, but everybody dies. Nobody wants to be bereft of happiness, but everybody without any exception are bereft of happiness. Whatever the object of their happiness is taken away from them. Their physical beauty, physical talents, name, fame, money, everything. Over a period of time brings everything together and time takes away everything away from us. So there is no permanent place of happiness. How much ever you may strive, you may be billionaire or zillionaire also. You are the richest person, most beautiful person. Still, you will be dying. You will be facing death. And why should we so pessimistic? Why can't we be optimistic? Okay, death is there. Death is very far away. Why can't we be optimistic? Because only a foolish person will think when he is traveling in a boat, if a boat gets a hole, and if other boat members say, hey, your boat has a hole, do something about it. And I said, no, my boat as of now is going very well, very nicely. Why are you so pessimistic? So much boat, so much space is there, and there's a small leak in the boat. Why are you pointing out a small defect in my boat, and why are you disregarding such a nice, wonderful boat of mine? Is going with such a high speed, and you're all envious of me. That person may claim, but actual fact is, all our acharyas, gurus, and scriptures, even Krishna himself says, this only dukkhalam ashvashakam. So your boat has a hole, so do something about it. Either lock the hole or no, or get a new boat. So that's the reason we cannot be happy in this material world. And Lord wants us to be happy because we are part and parcel. We are like His children, and Lord wants us to be happy eternally. That's why He says, "Do the needful in the material world. Do the needful. Whatever is required means of just follow the varnashram dharma and do your duties as much as possible, and then get out of this. Get out of the material existence." So, but what are our duties in this material world? Hmm? Krishna says, "Na Chaturvarna Maya System Gunadharma Vibhasha." There is varnas and there is ashramas. Based on your varna and your ashrama, you will have specific duties to perform as a brahmachari, as a grihastha, as a vanaprastha, and a sannyasi. So when we perform those duties, not for the sake of our pleasure, we are performing those duties for the sake of pleasure of Lord Krishna and for the sake of Guru. When we perform all our duties in this material world for the sake of pleasure of Krishna and for the sake of pleasure of Guru, then we will have the ability to get out of this material existence. So when a person performs without any attachment, the dharma principle, there are different kinds of dharma. I'll come to that point later. Okay, when a performs his duties, then he will get the eligibility to come to the platform of self-realization, and means like he will come in the ashrama of devotees, then started chanting the holy name of Krishna, and then he will be kept in the path of progressive path of progression towards the spiritual world. But somebody may say like, no, then why can't we do our duties only? Why can't we put all our energy like executing our duties? No, if you go outside and talk to some outside some scientists or some professors, they say work is worship. Just do your duty. There is nothing higher than that. Like when Rana, His Holiness Rana Swami Maharaj, he went to meet one famous lady, like she was she was well-known officer, and Maharaj was very gentle with her, and that lady, she came and said, "My mother is a karma yogi. She does only her duties, and so she is my inspiration." So she done karma yogi means doing everything for the sake of Krishna. Karma, but some people will say workaholism to karma yoga means dedicated to the work to karma yoga. Karma yoga is something, as soon as the word yoga comes, means it is related to Krishna. It is when everything is done, when the activity, when the service is done only for the sake of pleasure of Krishna, that is karma yoga. Or when one is fully dedicating the fruits of his action for Krishna, then he is a karma yogi, not a person who does everything for himself and just think that I got no time for anything. I'm totally engaged in my service. That kind of person is a karmi, not a karma yogi, a workaholic. So, but one should actually execute the principles of dharma. So, like we come to know from the life of Lord Ram and from the life of great devotees like Yudhishthira Maharaj, they are they executed the dharma to to the point. So there are different kinds of dharmas, like especially these dharmas are narrated by Bhishma Deva on his deathbed to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Now Bhishma Deva mainly Bhishma Deva, okay, he preached about Hare Krishna. Can somebody mute? You can mute. So Bhishmadeva preached all dharmas, mainly Varnashram dharma, which includes Brahmana dharma, Kshatriya dharma, Vaishya dharma, and Sudra dharma. Then he taught Yudhishthira Maharaj the importance of king in preserving the dharmas based on the based on based on his lifelong experience. He also preaches Sri Dharma and also Moksha Dharma, Bhagavat Dharma at the end. And finally, after saying Bhagavat Dharma, he says that one guy standing with us now, Sri Krishna, is Paramatma. And just by chanting his holy name, one holy names is the one and the only possible way to attain moksha in this age of Kali Yuga. So not only he preached the moksha dharma, but also he recited the Vishnu Sahasranama. On his deathbed, Bhishmadeva recited the Vishnu Sahasranama. So after explaining all the dharmas, like there is Sri Dharma, Brahmana Dharma, Kshatriya Dharma, Vaishya Dharma, Sudra Dharma, Putrika Dharma, Potra Dharma, Grihastha Dharma, all dharmas in Sri, and Sri Dharma, how the Sri should behave, all those things. Then he finally narrates the Bhagavat Dharma. What is Bhagavad Dharma? Bhagavad Dharma is Paro Dharma. All these dharmas are inferior dharmas, and Bhagavad Dharma alone is the Paro Dharma, means the superior dharma. All the inferior dharmas are meant to support the superior dharma, are meant to bring us to the Paro Dharma. Then only it's actual dharma. And there are different kinds of dharmas also, other dharmas. Let me see. Like Deha Dharma, Apa Dharma, means what is one's what should be one's behavior in taking care of the body, what should be one's duties at the time of emergency, like Apa Dharma, and that kind of dharma is also there. So the goal of all other dharmas is to bring one to the Bhagavad Dharma. So that's why, for the sake of Bhagavad Dharma, for the sake of as much as possible, you can, with respect to the other lower dharmas, you try to execute the lower dharmas as much as possible, not conflict to other lower dharmas. But for the sake of higher dharma, any lower dharma can be given up. So, what is the higher dharma is Jivara Surupai Krishnera Nityadas. So, we are part and parcel of Krishna, and our only goal is to serve Krishna. That is the Bhagavad Dharma. And how do we serve? By performing the Navavida Bhakti or Pancharatrika Vidhi or Bhagavad Vidhi. And there are four ways of process of self-relation: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Ashtanga Yoga. So one can execute any of these yoga methods, but most preferably the Bhakti Yoga. All other yoga methods should bring one to the Bhakti Yoga process. So culmination of everything, culmination of all the Varnashram dharmas is to come to bring one to the level of transcendence, that is the process of self-realization, and process of all other yogas is to bring one to the Bhakti Yoga. So means our relationship with Krishna, our connection, our realizing our relationship with Krishna, as a servitor, as a everybody has related, every living entity has a unique relationship with Krishna. So that is realizing and reviving that relationship with Krishna is called Bhagavad Dharma. So all the customs, rituals, yajnas, yagas, and all other spiritual practices, everything are centered around getting liberation. Liberation can be achieved in different ways, but liberation through the bhakti process, salokya, sarupi, samikya, different kinds of liberations are there. But still, devotees doesn't aspire for any kinds of liberation. Liberation is awarded to the devotees as a additional benefit, but their main benefit is to re-establish their relationship with Krishna. So that's why one should be very, very careful in dealing with metal elements, metal matter, like especially there are different specified rules and regulations for a brahmachari. A brahmachari should not only a brahmachari, any person who wanted to progress in his spiritual life, who wanted to reach to the level of transcendence or come to the level of bhakti yoga process, one should actually execute the uh, principles given for a grihastha and brahmachari very strictly. Especially what are the duties of a brahmachari? He should engage his time in study of the scriptures and guru shushrusha means serving the authority, the gurus, shiksha guru, diksha guru, and then serving, reading the scriptures, and absolutely no connection with opposite sex. Now it's in ninth canto it is said, right? Um, Matra swastra duhitra va naivi karta suno bhavet balavan indriya gramo vidvamsham abhikarshati. He says one should not allow oneself to sit on the same seat even with one's mother, sister, and daughter. For the senses are so strong that even though one is very advanced in knowledge, he may be attracted by sex. Means, like when Rajan Prabhu came, he said, oh, you should never talk with the ladies unnecessarily. Only the service to the point. If the service is there, how much you have to talk, that much only whatever is related to service, that much only you have to talk. That's it. After that, you have nothing to do. Our Shastras compare Stree to the fire and no, the ladies to the fire means the Matais are like fire and men are like butter. So His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj gives nice example. If the butter is kept in the very frozen condition for 1,000 years, and you to take out the frozen butter and keep in front of the fire, it will take only 5 minutes for the butter to get melted off. So you might be a strict brahmachari, reading so many scriptures, so much of sadhana, and so much of seva, so much of swadhyaya, all those scriptural knowledge, everything. But you are not careful, and you are kept in association of a women for without any regulation. Immediately, it will lead to fall down. Means one should be so very careful. Now, even if you are a sannyasi or a grihastha, vanaprastha, especially once with family members like sisters and mothers, all those things are okay. Okay in the sense that they should also be maintain distance. That's what here Yayati is quoting these words. He says, even one should not sit on the same, like same seat, or like for example, a seat like a sofa, something like that. Should not sit on the same level of mother, sister, and daughter. Once they reach different some kind of age, the daughter above 5-year-old, it should not be maintained distance. So means if we say this to some so-called modern men or women, they think that is a kind of like they kind of see false in it, but actually it is true. For why it is true? Because like if you see some people, boys and girls nicely mixing each other, nicely maintaining friendly relationship, just talking and just being like friends. And when they come to spiritual class like this, they preach heavily like this. You should maintain distance with the women. The senses are not cannot be trusted. You may be very well educated, so you have so much knowledge, but it takes a moment for your senses to get distracted, or your mental have mental fall down or physical fall down also. So when they say like that, no, they say that these people are still in their olden ages. It's not like that. So the sensitivity towards a man and women, if a man is or a boy is not in the position of a female, uh, like no, then he will have certain kind of uh, sensitivity towards opposite sex. But as he keeps on associating with the opposite sex, his sensitivity towards the opposite sex will go down. You might have known the story of Rishyasringa. Do you know that? Yeah, Rishyasringa's father. What is the name of Rishyasringa's father? Vimundak Muni. Vimundak Muni was doing severe tapasya. One time, an Apsarasa, like Indra sends one Apsarasa to bewilder him. So that Apsarasa comes and stays with Vimundak Muni, and then he gets married to her, and then she becomes conceived the child. No, she like. Vibhundak Muni was with this Apsarasa, and as soon as this Vibhundak Muni gets agitated and about get in union with this Apsarasa, what does she do? She doesn't accept that. My only goal is to pull you down. That is happened, so I don't need to stay here. So then this Vibhundak Muni, now he becomes very dear. So, and the deer becomes pregnant. Deer becomes pregnant and gave birth to a child. And this child is in a human form, but he has a horn because he took birth from the deer. And this Vibhundak Muni becomes so much averse to the ladies. See, so much heartlessness. She only came, she enticed me, and when I was about to give child, she rejected and went off. So these ladies are heartless. So what then he becomes, he says, my child will never see a lady. So he rises him as a strict brahmachari. He is only doing from the beginning, he never saw a lady. There is even lady, like female animals, no flowers are allowed in the ashram of Vibhundak Muni, and no flowers, no female animals, no nothing, nothing of opposite sex. And Vibhundak Muni trains the Rishi Muni so much, so nicely in spiritual activities, like yajna and performing meditation, tapasya, and all those things. He become so powerful within a short span of time. And Prabhuji, who is Dashrath Maharaj's friend? Rompad. Rompad Maharaj. Rompad Maharaj doesn't have a daughter. So Dashrath Maharaj has a daughter. Rompad Maharaj and Dashrath Maharaj are two best friends. So when Rompad Maharaj was lamenting, Dashrath Maharaj, what did he do? He gives his daughter to Rompad Maharaj. What's her name? Shanta. Her name is Shanta. So, and what happened one time? I think Durvasa Muni comes into the assembly of Rompad Maharaj, and somehow he gets offended. Durvasa Muni or some sage. He gets offended and he says, "You people didn't serve me properly. They let them be no rain in this country." Like that, he gives a curse and goes away. So from that time onward, there are no rains only. People are suffering, no rains, no grains, no food, and people are coming and complaining to the king. King, do something about it. So this king now, like he becomes worried how to counter this curse. We actually distilled one Vaishnava and we got the situation. In order to get out of the situation, we should do something. So he contacts his gurus and sages. I think I forgot that sage name. The women that who is the sage Prabhu? Vasishta or who brings Rishishunga to Rompal? So I'll tell. Okay, what I think. Huh?
Actually, the solution to this answer problem.
Yeah, I know that, but there is one person who actually one guru, somebody says to Rampal Maharaj, see this Rishashringa is there. Vasishtha says to Rishashringa, Rampal Maharaj, for you to get out of this, for your kingdom to have reigns, one great personality should come into your kingdom. So Rishashringa is a very potent person. You bring him here. As soon as if you can bring him, that's it. You are perfect. Then your curse will be removed like that. They said. Then Rampal Maharaj inquires about what is how can we get Rishashringa. Vibhanda Rishi was very strict about it. Rishashringa should never leave the compound of this, like his ashram. You should only stay in the ashram. You should only perform tapasya. No female association, strictly. So then this the ministers of Rombal Maharaj, what they decide is, he never saw a woman in his life. So what we do, we just send women, like he called prostitutes, very beautiful prostitutes, and gave them idea. Tell them, you somehow or other get that boy out of that ashram into our kingdom. And this then when they said when these Vaishyas, they came to know that he never saw women, what they do, he was only seeing the sages, rishis and sages, who often visits his father's ashram. So all he knows is in this entire world only sages are there. So what this prostitute does, they dress themselves as these sages. Okay, and then they go and then they put their camp little away from Rishishunga ashram, and they're like they are pretending as if they are sages, and they are keeping an eye on Vibhunda Rishi. So Vibhunda Rishi was invited to perform some sacrifice in some other kingdom. So he goes away. So when he goes away, what these sages, these prostitutes do, they prepare very nice food stuff, nice sweets and all those things. Forest, what did they get? What from right from the birth, this Rishishringa was only eating fruits and roots. So these prostitutes, they prepare very nice food stuff. They dress themselves as sages. As soon as they go towards the ashram of Vibhanda Krishi. And as soon as Rishashringa saw some sages are coming with great reverence, he goes and he pays obeisances to them. And then he served them. And they said, where are you coming from? I never saw such a beautiful sages till now. Like that, he started describing them. And he said, yeah, we stay here now. We are from different country or so and so region. Actually, we are from heavenly planets. Like that, they say. And they nicely chat and then the food to him. Okay, you eat this like that. And as soon as this person eats the sweets, his mind gets exploded because he has been eating only roots and food. That, oh, it is such a nice taste. I never tasted this such kind of food like that. Then what does this pastor do? They talk very nicely. But your voice is also so sweet. I never heard sages having this kind of voice. No? Because female voice is very milder, right? That's why they say we are coming from heavenly planets. So, and all this, they nicely, this prostitute, what they do, they touch, they hug, and all those things they do. And Rishishringa was getting different reactions in his body. Why, what kind of changes I'm getting? He is thinking that these are all spiritual ecstasies. And and when they realize that Vibhunda Rishi is coming back, then what they do? No, we have to go. If you want to, like no, we have to go. We cannot stay here for long. We have to some urgent work like that. They create some urgency. But by this time, Rishabh was totally got attracted to these prostitutes, and before going these prostitutes, so we are also very much uh, uh, aggrieved, or we don't want to leave you. You are such a nice gentleman, and they give a nice hug, and then they leave. And after this, then when they are to their camp, they are waiting for Rishabh to come back. And Rishabh was not able to sleep, not able to do his yakya, not able to do his, whatever his spiritual practice he has been doing. His father comes, he's totally out of, his mind is out of control. Because he never had any association with female. And he was thinking that these are rishis. And he's thinking like, I want to only be in the association of that saints. Like such a nice, mild voice and soft bodies, such a nice sages. I never saw such kind of sages. He was thinking like that. And finally, what happened? Before going, they said, if you want to come, there is one center here. Your father, without notice of your father, you can come, because we have to take his permission for you to come. So you can come without telling your father. Without, when your father is away, you can try to come to our camp, like that they say. Then Rishi Singh was very much hankering to get back to the sages. So as soon as his father left for some reasons, for some time, immediately he ran to the camp of these prostitutes. So the prostitutes immediately they hugged him. They gave nice sweets, and they said, "Okay, now let us go to our main camp." Now then they brought to the kingdom of Rompal Maharaj. As soon as Rishabh entered into the kingdom, immediately rainfall starts. It's like all the rain that have been not there for so many years. All citizens are so happy, and then finally the prostitutes take this Rishabh to Rompal Maharaj. And Rompal Maharaj immediately falls at the feet of Rishabh and worships him. And then Rompal Maharaj says, please accept my daughter as your marriage. Because by the time that Vibhandaka, right, Vibhandaka comes to know that my son was kidnapped, then their entire kingdom will be devastated. So what does he do? So immediately he gets his son married to her daughter Shanta. Then Vibhandaka Rishi again comes to know after some, when he comes back, he comes to know that his son is missing. So with his Divya Rishi, he comes to know to what all happened. So he comes to Ramaharshan Maharaj's kingdom. Immediately Sage Vasishta cools him down and says, don't worry, because of your son, so many people are surviving, like that. He calms him down. So the thing is, the sensitivity. Like if 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 you want to experience higher, if you want to go and if you want to make spiritual progress very fast, and if you wanted to advance spiritually more and more, that's why, like in Pune, Rayashan Prabhu, if somebody wants to join full time, he will ask only one question: do you have any girlfriends? Do you had any girlfriends? If somebody says, yeah, I had girlfriend like 5 years back. Okay, thank you very much. Try your luck in the middle world. He never accepts him as into the ashram. So means like their sensitivity towards women, their association, because they had too much association with women or girlfriends, their senses will keep pulling them, like why we can do chanting. If you go to, especially a brahmachari goes to immediately mother and father says, you can do your chanting, you can do your puja, get nicely married to a devotee girl, and then maintain nice family, and then you can do your puja, you can do everything is possible, like that they say, right? So that's why maintaining this if you want to one progress nicely, that's why even though in this age of Kali, the sannyas ashram is not authorized, but still Prabhupada and Bhaktivinoda Thakur and even Shankaracharya, they authorize they maintain celibacy and they only there in the society to preach and spiritual training and spiritual guidance to the society in general. So for one to achieve that stage as a to be the beacon of spiritual success or to of heart, purity of senses, and never to associate. As much as possible, try to restrict the conversation with the opposite sex to the point. Even if he is a grihastha, one should act. Grihastha is not like you can have uh, license for free sex and free association with women. No, even as a grihastha, one should only associate with one's wife only for the sake of procreating children. And what to speak of associating with other women? He should treat other women as a mother, and he should be very strict of not to speak with women because as I told you are spiritually so educated, so potent. It take only 5 minutes for you to drop. So that's why Rajasham Prabhu says always maintain safe distance, and by doing so you are respecting women, and then we are respecting women as mother. Like one brahmachari they said, why you maintain distance from women? You maintain distance from women thinking that they are like untouchables. Not like that. You should maintain distance with women thinking that they are like like if a Queen Elizabeth comes, no one will go and closely associate with her. You maintain respectable distance with her. In the same way, we should respect them by maintaining distance and by limiting our conversation with them. Actually, a woman who is actually like motherly nature towards other devotees and especially the brahmacharis, they encourage the brahmacharis to maintain distance from them. They themselves maintain distance. That is their kindness upon other persons, other especially the brahmacharis. So touching women strictly prohibited, and maintaining distance, and that way, like our senses are directed towards Krishna rather than sense gratification, because sense gratification can be gross, sense gratification can be subtle. Subtle sense gratification with ladies and women is easily possible. Like boys try to speak too much and boast. Like it is said in Vedic culture, a king can marry any number of women. Why? Because a king has to go and fight in the war, and he needs some boasting of his possible. So, in the association of women, Kshatriyas become very kind of too much of. They want to prove themselves. They want to prove their heroism. That drive will develop in them. That's why they are given the association of women. So, even like a boys also, as soon as like 10 boys are sitting and talking, one woman comes. Immediately, there is change in consciousness. So we should be very careful. Like women are like fire. One can use the fire for sacrifice and advancing in spiritual life, or one can use that if not used properly, that fire can burn our entire building. Just like Ravana used Mother Sita. Mother Sita was like fire. She took Mother Sita to Lanka. Immediately, entire Lanka was destroyed. So, like Sri Dharma, Bhishmadev also says how the women has to be protected, and when how what is the role of a women, how women should behave, how women should how what kind of protection has to be given to women, and what kind of protection has to be given to children and old people. Everything is a part of dharma only. So as a brahmachari, we should do the needful, and then we should focus. Our main focus should be Shravanam and Kirtanam and study of scriptures and Guru Shushrusha, serving authorities. Just by doing so, we don't have to enter into Grihastha ashram. Hmm? So one may say, why I will enter into Grihastha ashram and I will do bhakti. Like in that Avadut Brahmana says, both husband and wife enter into Grihastha ashram thinking that not a Grihastha ashram, they should not say Grihastha ashram, Grihomedi ashram, okay? Grihomedi, into family life, thinking that they will be happy. And after some time, none of them are happy. Man will think because of the women and children only I am suffering, and women will think because of this family only I am suffering. Means they are not satisfied. They are overwhelmed with the responsibilities and restrictions and all those things. So I don't mean to undermine the Grihastha ashram, but as a brahmachari, one don't have to enter. As much as Prabhupada says, as much as possible, try to avoid. Every male person should be become brahmachari, and every female disabled should be nicely married. Such a contrary statement, right? Every every male person should be like a brahmachari, and every female person should be nicely married in a guru. Means a a a girl becoming a nice devotee, even when married to a non-devotee, she will be able to spiritualize that home. But a brahmachari, when he actually not enter into Grihastha ashram, he can make entire world as his family and serve many people. So when we take that kind of inspiration, when we take this knowledge in a right spirit, everybody will be happy and will be able to do a lot of service to Guru and Krishna. And finally, we will be able to achieve the final success of pure love of Godhead or going back to Godhead also. Okay. We'll end it here. Anybody have any questions or comments you can take? Yes, Prabhu.
Material life, as you first spiritual life, the yeah, like in material life, the birth is considered abominable, like in the sense like if one is not into the spiritual practices.
Yes.
And in spiritual life, the death, the art of death, like the death is given during, like because we are going towards liberation. So how does one try to understand that? Like you mentioned about other people who are not into the spiritual. So uh, we talk about the art of death or how to conquer it.
Not of living, not of dying. Okay.
So aren't we like thinking of something that is not there? But how do we actually understand it?
So you are thinking, why are you so much focused about the after death, right? Rather than focusing on, as I told you, right? Just see for ourselves how many people are dying every day. Hani bhutani gachanti amale. Means so many people are dying in front of us every day, but still people who are living, they think that they are not going to die. None of us want to be miserable. We want us to always happy. But is that situation possible in this material world? So there are always fulfillment to every desire of us. You get thirsty, there is water. You get hungry, there is food. You get a sexual drive, you get opposite sex. So what is the solution? What is the fulfillment for our desires to be eternally happy? We want to be always happy, but there should be some solution, right? So all the scriptures, none of the scientists, none of the philosophers till now were able to find, but only our scriptures say, for you to be eternally happy, you go back to God. So we are not neglecting any of our responsibility of this life. We are doing the needful of to stay happy, to be happy in this material world, and but without missing the focus of our next life of going back to God. So that's what Prabhupada simply says. You just follow four related principles and chant 16 rounds of Arachana mantra. Then I will take you personally back to God. When you're surrendered, when you serve, and please Krishna and Guru, our journey to eternal happiness is guaranteed. So, as a brahmacharis, we should follow certain rules and regulations. As a grosser, they should follow some rules and regulations, like that. So, we are not neglecting anything. We are only not we are not neglecting the responsibilities of this life, but we are more concerned and more focused on both the focused on this life responsibility through our service, through our contribution, and we are focused on next life or higher no, higher destination by following the guidelines given by authorities. Mhm. Any more questions? Would you like to add anything? Roger is saying one should know one's weaknesses and one's strength. As soon as you find out that I have weakness here, you should stay away from there. But if you are okay with it and if you are strong enough, then you will be able to carry on that service. That way. Anybody have any questions or comments online?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji,
Yes.
I was just thinking, like in some sections, in some religions, they have this marriage between siblings, and it is
That is other that
yeah,
in I think in ninth chapter it will come. The line of Adharma. You remember your question. Then in the ninth chapter it will be answered. So the marriage between siblings happens only like no, there is a lineage of dharma. There is lineage of adharma also. So in the lineage of adharma, both siblings will get married.
oh,
Okay.
Bapre.
So that is going to come. I thought of mentioning that also, but it would be better when that topic comes and when we discuss there.
Okay, Prabhuji.
But when
And
with respect to Lord, Lord is beyond this jurisdiction. Lord and his energy, no? Yajna and Dakshina,
yeah,
they appeared from the same womb, but they are not material. They are
yes,
purely spiritual. The soul is neither a boy nor a girl. It is only servant of Krishna.
yes,
Okay. So in the same way, Krishna and his energy, Mother Lakshmi, even when they appear from the same womb or different womb, it doesn't matter. In many of the expansions, most of the time the Shakti Tattva, she appears from Mother Earth only, or she, like for example, Sita Devi, Radharani, Radharani took birth from the lotus flower. So Mother Sita was found in the earth. So, but even when Lord Ram or Krishna takes the birth of their mother, they are not seminal birth. There is spiritual birth. Okay. It is
yes,
only for the sake of his devotees, to reciprocate with the devotees, Lord takes birth as a child. Only to give a sense of uh, this Vatsalya rasa to the devotees.
so yeah, okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Anybody have any more questions or comments?
Prabhuji, thank you for a wonderful class. I like the way you talk about very sensitivity and about Vaishnavi relationship. I like because before coming to ISKCON, I got preached by many other organizations, other leaders, but it was due to the one reason I did not, continue my path there. That was respect to the woman, and that what we find in our Gaudiya Vaishnava. So how you nicely presented. To this distance is only to maintain respect as a mother. So thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Very good. Yeah, dear Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Sri Prabhupada ki Jai.